Konnichiwa minasan. Hello friends, how are you? Welcome to Saral Japani YouTube channel. This is a place where we learn Japanese language. This series Japanese lessons for beginners. Today is the 94th lesson and today's topic is adjectives part 1. These are the basic grammatical terms in Japanese which we know, and in today's lesson we shall be looking into keiyoshi, which is adjective. So in Japanese adjective is called keiyoshi, and the literal meaning of the word keiyoshi is description or qualification. So we know that an adjective is a word that modifies or describes a noun or a pronoun. That means it is a qualitative word. It can be used to describe the qualities of something or someone independently or in comparison to something else. For example, I like old houses. The boy is tall. So in these examples, old and tall, these qualify the nouns. So these are adjectives. In the first one, old qualifies the house, and in the second one, tall qualifies the boy. So this is the very basic understanding of adjectives, which we all know. Now let's extend this to Japanese. So in Japanese, there are basically two categories of adjectives. The first category contains the adjectives, which are called ikeyoshi. So ikeyoshi are those adjectives that end in e sound, that is hiragana e. So what does that mean? These e adjectives are basically words of Japanese origin. So the adjectives which originates from the Japanese words are are they fall in this category of adjectives which are called e adjectives or ikeyoshi. So example, oki. So this is oki, which means big or large, and chisai means small. So as you can see, both are ending in e sound. So these are basically ikeyoshi or e adjectives. So most of the adjectives in Japanese fall in this category. Then there is another category as well that ends in the na sound, hiragana na. When an adjective modifies the noun, then na gets added at the end and we get na adjectives. So one example is genki, which means health, which is a noun, and genkina is healthy or cheerful. So in this way, this is a na adjective. So in today's lesson, we are going to focus only on the e adjectives. So adjectives we will look into in a future lesson, so not today. So let's move ahead with the e adjectives for today. So in a previous lesson, we had learnt some adjectives which were related to colors. So why not start this lesson with those colors only so that we get a recap of that part, and also it will set the foundation of what adjectives are and how these ikeyoshi are used. So let's look at these colors one by one. The first one is blue color. So blue color is aoi. So we have done this kanji character in one of our previous kanji lessons. So this is already known to us. Aoi, blue. Akai, red. Kuroi, black. Shiroi, white. Chairoi, brown. Kiroi, yellow. So now in brown and yellow, you can see this particular kanji. This is the kanji of iro, which means color. So brown, which is cha iro, and cha means tea, ocha, cha. So this is tea. That means the color of the tea, which is brown. So brown is nothing but the color of the tea. Then we have ki iroi, which is ki iroi, which is yellow color. So in this way, and the white, although we have highlighted this arrow here, but this is different because it is she. So this arrow is not the same as this arrow. So I should not have colored this. So it's an independent word, shiroi, which is white. So aoi, akai, kuroi, shiroi, chairoi, and kiroi. So these are the basic colors which will keep appearing in our examples frequently. Then there are two exceptions. So you can recognize these colors. The first one is purple and the second one is green. So purple is called murasaki in Japanese and green is called midori. So as you can see, they are not ending in e sound. They are ending in ki and re sounds. And they are also not ending in na. That means these do not fall under the adjectives, either of the adjectives categories, that is e adjectives and na adjectives. They are not part of that. So even then they are considered to be adjectives because they represent colors, and color of something is nothing but a quality, and so colors are always adjectives. So murasaki, midori, they are also adjectives. So now let's take a closer look on how these colors are used. So first one is blue color, aoi. So this is an example. The sky is blue. Sora wa aoi desu. Sora is sky and aoi is the blue. So here the word blue is used as adjective, aoi. Now if we say blue is the color of the sky, so in that case the sentence will be ao wa sora no iro desu. So here aoi becomes ao. That means this becomes a noun form. So as you can see, blue is the color of the sky. So blue here is not an adjective, but it is a noun. So in this way, the same word may be used as adjective and as noun in when we formulate the sentence in a different way. So sora wa aoi desu, ao wa sora no iro desu. Same goes with the red color. Apples are red. Ringo wa akai desu. And red is the color of apples. Then it becomes aka wa ringo no iro desu. So this will not be akai. This will be aka. Ao and aka. So these are also colors. These also represent blue and red respectively, but not in the adjective form, but in the noun form. So one more time. Sora wa aoi desu. Ao wa sora no iro desu. Ringo wa akai desu. Aka wa ringo no iro desu. The no particle is used with colors whose adjective form does not end in e. For example, murasaki and midori. So what does that mean? Murasaki no sukato. That means purple skirt, or more precisely we can say skirt of purple color. So that's why murasaki no sukato, skirt of purple color. So as we know that no particle represents of, so skirt of purple color translates to murasaki no sukato. Similarly, green shirt, midori no shatsu. The shirt of green color. So midori no shatsu. Orange no zubon. Orange is the orange color and zubon means pants or trousers. So trousers of orange color, orange no zubon, orange trousers. So you can see both are written in katakana because both are from foreign words. Orange is orange and zubon, this has appeared most likely from French word jubon, which means trousers or pants. So now the interrogation form. Noun wa nani iro desu ka? So nani iro means what color. So what color is the noun? So this translates to what color is the noun. Now there is another way of asking this same question. Noun no iro wa nan desu ka? That means what is the color of noun? So here you can see nan desu. That's why what is, and here nani iro, which means what color. So it's exactly the word by word translation. And noun no iro means color of noun. What is the color of noun? What color is the noun? So the same question, two different ways of asking. Noun wa nani iro desu ka? Noun no iro wa nan desu ka? Now why there is nani here and why there is nan here? This we have discussed earlier in detail in the chapter titled as what. So in that what chapter we had discussed about this. So it has something to do with the word that follows. So that's why it's nani, and here since it is the they sound, so it's nan. So please go through that lesson if you have not done that, so that you understand the difference between nani and nan, and in which cases nani is applicable and in which cases nan is applicable. So now So this is juice. Juice means the fruit juice. So juice wa nani iro desu ka? Juice wa nani iro desu ka means what color is the juice? And this is juice no iro wa nan desu ka? What is the color of juice? So this is an example of what we just discussed. So now what's the color of the juice? Kiroi desu. It's yellow. So most likely it is a mango juice or pineapple juice. So it's yellow in color. Kiroi desu. Midori no lemon desu. It's a green lemon. Midori no lemon, as we just saw, for Murasaki and Midori, we have to use the no particle to connect it with the noun, the thing or the object. Midori no lemon desu. It's a green lemon. And also we can say lemon wa midori desu. That is, the lemon is green. So again, two different ways of calling it out. Midori no lemon, lemon wa midori desu. Likewise, hana wa murasaki desu. The flowers are purple. And the other way, it's a purple flower. So murasaki no hana desu. Kore wa murasaki no hana desu. It's a purple flower. This is a purple flower. So kono hana wa murasaki desu. You can say like that also. Kono hana means this flower is purple. So kono hana wa murasaki desu. Hana wa murasaki desu is the flowers are purple or the flower is purple. And another way is murasaki no hana desu. It's a purple flower. So that was all about the colors, which we had earlier also we had discussed some of that. So we began with colors today. So now let's move ahead with other adjectives. So the first and the most popular or the most common one is oki. As you can see this kanji symbol, we have done this. This is a very, very basic symbol which represents something big or large. And you can see this symbol in words like daigaku, and every word that begins with dai, which represents this character. So there are different readings. One is the O, which is the kunyomi reading, and there is dai, which is the onyomi reading. So some words will have that and some words will have O. So when it comes to this objective, this adjective form, the O reading is used. So we have oki, means big or large. Then we have chisai, which is small. So this kanji also we have done. So we are mentioning here both uh, kanji as well as hiragana so that you can understand, because not all kanji symbols we have covered in this series so far. So only the ones which we have covered have been highlighted in red so that you know that these have already been covered. So oki, big or large, chisai, small or little. Then we have tsuyoi, which means strong. And we have yowai, which means weak. So now let's uh, look at some examples that use these adjectives. The first one is sono zo wa oki desu. Zo means elephant. So sono zo means that elephant. That elephant is big. So sono zo wa oki desu. So this is very simple. So we have, since this today is the first lesson on adjectives, so we have tried to keep it as simple as possible so as not to overwhelm you with too much of information or too much of grammar. So we have used very, very simple sentences to represent these adjectives or to express these adjectives. So sono zo wa oki desu, that elephant is big. Kono boru wa chisai desu. This ball is small. So kono boru means this ball. So here kono is used as an adjective. So kono boru, this ball. Which ball? This ball. And how is this ball? It's small. So chisai. Kono boru wa chisai desu. Then we have Rayon wa tsuyoi desu. Rayon means lion. So that's why it is written in katakana, because it's an English word, lion. And since there is no la sound in Japanese, so it gets replaced with the ra sound. Rayon wa tsuyoi desu. The lion is strong. Nezumi wa Nezumi wa yowai desu. The rat is weak. So oki, chisai, tsuyoi, yowai. Let's move forward. Futoi. Futoi means thick or fat. Hosoi, thin or slim. So these can be used to represent both human beings, animals, and also inanimate things. So this can be applied to both categories, living and non-living. Futoi, hosoi. Then we have marui. Marui means round or circular in shape. So let's look at some examples using these three. Kyuri wa futoi desu. The cucumber is thick. So this is an example to represent thick or fat thing. Soreva hosoi banana desu. That's a thin banana. Soreva means that is. So a banana is placed somewhere. So we are indicating from a distance that soreva hosoi banana desu. Boru wa marui desu. The ball is round. So in this way, futoi, hosoi, and marui can be expressed. Then we move ahead. Takai. Takai means high. For example, some mountain or a building or a tower, the height is high. So this is long in height. That means vertically. So Takai represents a vertical height, not the horizontal length. Takai is high. Hikui is low or short in height. That means it's the antonym or the opposite of Takai. Takai, Hikui. Then we have Nagai. Nagai means long, and this time it is in length, which is horizontal. And the opposite of Nagai is Mijikai, which means short in length. So very, very important adjectives. Takai, Hikui, it forms a pair of high and low, and Nagai and Mijikai forms a pair of long and short in length. So for Takai, we can use it to represent both the height of buildings, mountains, towers, and also the height of human beings. So uh, we can say, if I say I am tall, then that will be watashi wa takai desu, like that. So yama wa takai desu. The mountain is high. Sono tatemono wa hikui desu. The building is short, or it's a low-rise building, or that building is short in height. Shinkansen wa nagai desu. Shinkansen means the bullet train. So you might remember in one of our Japanese extra shorts, we had discussed in detail about these three kanji, and there was something interesting. So if you go into our playlist of Japanese extra shorts, you will find in one of the videos about this Shinkansen. So do watch it if you get time. Shinkansen wa nagai desu. The bullet train is long. So this time it is talking about the length of the train. Akai skato wa mijikai desu. The red skirt is short. So here there are two adjectives in this sentence. One is red and one is short. So both red and short are qualifying the noun skirt. So akai skato wa mijikai desu. And if we say the short skirt is red, then it will be mijikai skato wa akai desu. It will be the other way round. Takai, hikui, nagai, mijikai. These are very, very important and most commonly used adjectives. Atsui, another extremely important adjective, atsui, which means hot. It can be the hot weather, it can be some hot food or something like that. Samui, cold. Now when we use samui, then we generally represent the weather only. So samui, cold, is for weather only, not for any cold food or something else which we can touch. Atatakai means warm, and tsumetai means cold, and this time it indicates it is used to qualify those substances which we can touch and which are cold. So for example, if we say the tea is cold, then it will be ochawa tsumetai desu. So it won't be ochawa samui desu. It will be wrong to say ochawa samui desu. We will say ochawa tsumetai desu. The tea is cold. So let's look at some example. Ochawa atsui desu. The tea is hot. So both atsui and atatakai can be used for both weather as well as the things which we can touch. But for cold, there are two different ways. So samui is used for weather and sumetai is used for things which we can touch. Kyo wa samui desu. It's cold today. Supu wa atatakai desu. The soup is warm. Tsumetai kohi o nomimasu. I drink cold coffee. Or we can also say watashi wa tsumetai kohi o nomimasu. I drink cold coffee. Or if I say tsumetai kohi o nomimashita, that means I drank cold coffee or I was drinking cold coffee. So atsui, samui, atatakai, tsumetai. Very, very important to understand the differences between samui and tsumetai and atsui, atatakai. Next is the category of happiness, sadness and all. Tanoshi. Tanoshi means happy and it is more indicative towards something related to fun and enjoyment. So if someone is happy because of some fun he is getting or some enjoyment he is getting, then the word to express that will be tanoshi. It doesn't represent the other type of happiness which is content. So that is ureshi. So if we suppose someone has a student has got high marks in the exam and he becomes happy, then that will be ureshi, not tanoshi. Tanoshi is for some excitement, some fun, some enjoyments. And the generic happiness is ureshi. So the difference should be noted between tanoshi and ureshi. Tsumaranai, it's boring or dull. Tsumaranai. There is no kanji character for this, it's just the Japanese hiragana. Tsumaranai, boring or dull. Omoshiroi is the opposite of tsumaranai, which is interesting. So it's simply the antonym of tsumaranai. We have kanashi, which means sad. So kanashi is the opposite of ureshi. And tsumaranai is loosely the opposite of tanoshi, but it is more the opposite of omoshiroi. So these are the five most important or most common adjectives to represent happiness, dullness, and sadness. Now let's look at some examples using these. Tanaka-san wa tanoshi desu. Mr. Tanaka is happy or he is having fun and enjoyment. Watashi wa ureshi desu. I am happy. So this is in general I am happy. It's not because of any fun or enjoyment, but in generic sense I am happy. Kono eiga wa tsumaranai desu. Kono eiga means this movie and tsumaranai is boring. So this movie is boring. Kono eiga wa tsumaranai desu. And if I say I watched a boring movie yesterday, then it will be kino watashi wa tsumaranai eiga o mimashita. Hanashi wa omoshiroi desu. The story is interesting. If we say shousetsu wa omoshiroi desu, then it will be the novel is interesting. So hanashi means story, shousetsu means novel. So omoshiroi, interesting. Or we can also say eiga wa omoshiroi desu. The movie is interesting. Sore wa kanashi uta deshita. That was a sad song. So kanashi is sad, uta means song, and deshita is the past tense. So that was a sad song. So that means the song has just ended, and after that the speaker is saying that song was sad. That was a sad song. So sore wa kanashi uta deshita. Again another important adjective, hayai, which means fast. Osoi is the opposite, that is slow. So hayai and osoi. Akarui means bright, something very bright. Kurai, something very dark. So we have some examples. Hikoki wa hayai desu. Now friends, don't get too much bothered about all these kanji characters. These have been provided only for representational purposes. We are yet to do all of these and these are not part of the beginner's course. So that's why you can simply use the hiragana for all these complicated kanji characters. So that's why both have been given. This is only for visual representation so that you can recognize these just for their meaning and you need not memorize them. So Akarui is bright and Kurai is dark. Hikoki wa hayai desu. The aeroplane is fast. Katatsumuri wa osoi desu. Snails are slow. So Katatsumuri means snail and osoi is slow. Taiyo wa akarui desu. So the sun is bright. Akarui is bright. Taiyo means sun. Yoru wa kurai desu. Yoru is night, so the night is dark. Hikoki wa hayai desu. Katatsumuri wa osoi desu. Taiyo wa akarui desu. Yoru wa kurai desu. So this chapter, your vocabulary is also getting enriched, both nouns as well as adjectives. Isogashi. Isogashi means busy. Oishi. Oishi means tasty. Furui is old and atarashi is new. Let's look at some examples. Isogashi. Kyo watashi wa isogashi desu. I am busy today. Kyo watashi wa isogashi desu. Orange juice wa oishi desu or sushi wa oishi desu. So orange juice is tasty, sushi is tasty. We can say keiki wa oishi desu. Chichi no ie wa furui desu. My father's house is old. Chichi no ie means father's house and furui is old. Similarly, atarashi is new. So kiiroi shatsu wa atarashi desu. The yellow shirt is new. Kiiroi shatsu wa atarashi desu. So there are again two adjectives here. One is the color, one is the newness. So the yellow shirt is new, or we can say the new shirt is yellow, then it will be atarashi shatsu wa kiiroi desu. Both are valid. Muzukashi means difficult. Yasashi is easy or gentle. That means easy to deal with or easygoing person. So that is this, that easiness, easy or gentle. Urusai means noisy. So before we go into these sentences, yasashi is basically easy, and it doesn't necessarily mean something which is easy to do. It is more of someone who is easygoing. So we have a different word for easy. That means a question is easy or a mathematical problem is easy. So to represent that, we have a different word which is not ending in e sound. So we have excluded that from today's lesson. We will discuss it later. But here yasashi, you can just remember that it is for a gentle person or a easygoing person. So it is the opposite of muzukashi, which means a difficult person. Urusai, noisy. So now let's look at three examples, the last of this lesson. Sono shitsumon wa muzukashi desu. That's a difficult question. Sono shitsumon means that question. So that question is difficult, and it's same as that's a difficult question. So it's the same thing. Shitsumon means question, muzukashi means difficult. Sono shitsumon wa muzukashi desu. That question is difficult. Now next is yasashi. Watashi no obasan wa totemo yasashi hito desu. So totemo is the word which is used to represent very. Very gentle. Totemo yasashi. Very gentle. Totemo yasashi. And very gentle person. We have to use hito as well. Hito means person. So totemo yasashi hito. Watashi no obasan. Obasan means aunt. Watashi no obasan wa totemo yasashi hito desu. Sono basho wa urusai desu. That place is noisy. And again, the antonym of noisy is silent, but for silent we have some other word which doesn't end in e. So we are not going to talk about that in today's lesson. Muzukashi, yasashi, urusai. So friends, we have done a lot many adjectives in today's lesson. I know it's difficult to remember or memorize, but there is no other way. So there is no technique to remember all these. Just practice, practice and more practice, which will make you memorize or make you remember these things for long. And you have to keep revising these things again and again, because since you are not a native speaker and you are not in that environment of Japanese listening on day-to-day basis, so it is more difficult to remember all this. So the only way is to practice and keep practicing the old things that you learn. So when you keep learning new things, you tend to forget the old things, so that should not happen. And the only way to avoid that is, while you learn the new lessons, you must revise the older lessons as well. In that way you will be able to recall and remember things. So friends, that's all for today. In today's lesson 94, we discussed about some primary adjectives which are very frequently used in day-to-day communication.